U.S. Secretary of Defense pays a visit to Hughes. What you need to know before his speech tomorrow.
Class registration can be a stressful process, but 3 students have found a way to ease the burden.
And 2 a cappella groups performed on campus this weekend. We'll take a look at both of those events. Welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Wolsky.
And I'm Alex Resnick. This past Saturday, SU played host to the 2015 Orange Ability Athletics Expo. That's our top story tonight. The annual event allows both disabled and non-disabled people to play sports alongside one another. Citrus TV reporter Nick Papantonis has the story.
In between the 2 NCAA games this weekend, a different kind of basketball took to the courts. The wheelchair variety. This game was a part of Orange Ability's 2015 Athletics Expo on Saturday, which provides an opportunity for people with disabilities and those who are fully able to play sports together.
It gives somebody like me an opportunity to get in a wheelchair and try to play basketball and get beaten really badly by somebody who knows what they're doing.
You having a good time?
I had a great time riding the bike. I had a great time crashing, but I'm doing a good job.
The expo also gives fully able people one afternoon to reflect on the challenges that people with disabilities face every day.
I am overwhelmed with gratitude that I can actually use my legs, but I am just in awe of the difficulties that people who are depending on this.
Orange Ability's Athletics Expo started with just 100 participants a few years ago. This year, there are over 200, and for the first time ever, they're being billed as an international event. Wheelchair Rugby's Western New York Wreckers squared off against the Ottawa Senators in a game that made normal rugby look like croquet. In the end, organizers say it's about bringing the community together and raising awareness.
Well, this event is important, I think, because it's an awareness event. It's making people aware that we need accessibility here at Syracuse University.
Nick Papantonis, Citrus TV News.
Nick, that's such a wonderful thing that they have both disabled and abled people to play basketball, but what reactions did you personally witness at the expo?
I saw a lot of people really enjoying themselves. There wasn't the disability. Sometimes people look at people with disabilities in a different light, and there was none of that afternoon. It was all about having fun, being together, and playing the best that you could.
And for those who missed the event, is there anywhere people who could get more information on disabilities or anything like that to be educated on this topic?
So the Office of Disability Services is here on campus, and they're the ones that you want to go to for all the information that you need, as well as any questions that you may have about having a disability here.
All right, thanks so much for joining us, Nick. And Veterans and Military Affairs take the spotlight tomorrow. U.S. Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter will visit campus to talk with students and other invited guests. Carter will discuss how the Department of Defense recruits, retains, and transitions the next generation of service members. Opening remarks will begin at 10:40 a.m. in Deanan Hall. Tickets are required to attend and can be purchased at the Shine box office with a valid SUID. And tax day is coming around the corner, and for many college students working their first jobs, filing taxes can be a bit confusing. This Friday, the accounting fraternity Beta Alpha Psi will provide free income tax assistance to the Orange community. The group will be stationed in the lobby of Whitman from 9 a.m. until late afternoon.
Students frustrated with the MySlice registration website can plan their schedules on this new site. 3 computer science sophomores created CourseGoat.com to help their fellow peers. CourseGoat is a free online schedule maker and course matcher. Students can log into Facebook or make a personal account to use the service. The startup is in the running for a $10,000 prize at the Raymond Von Dran Idea Awards. And it's been years since classes have been taught in this stone building, but now the Holden Observatory is getting a fresh start. As of Saturday, the building is dedicated to Professor Marvin Druger's late wife, Patricia Myers-Druger. The biology teacher recently lost his beloved wife 13 months ago to lung cancer. At the dedication, the College of Arts and Sciences unveiled the observatory's renovated learning center to the public.
And a cappella took over campus this Saturday. Citrus TV reporter Claire Moran was there for the events.
At 6 o'clock, Autotunes performed Senior Night Live.
Dance with me. He has really shiny teeth. He has really shiny teeth.
Then at 8 o'clock, Orange Appeal presented their Spring Invitational. The Autotunes show featured performances from Premium Blend from Ithaca College and skits in between the songs. In one song break, TJ Wells, the current public relations director of Autotunes, who will be the president next year, handed out senior superlatives.
These seniors were my first friends here, and they're my best friends here. It was the most surreal experience being able to say goodbye to them in the most honorable way possible.
Orange Appeal also honored their seniors by presenting them with sneakers signed by the other members of the group. Their show featured performances from Syracuse's Main Squeeze and the Royal Pitches from the University of Buffalo. Orange Appeal also asked audience members to tweet about the show using the hashtag 44DaysOfOA and awarded prizes for the best tweets. Zachary Phillips is the president of Orange Appeal.
I was really pleased with how it went. We definitely wanted to just kind of showcase everyone's talents and be able to have everybody get out there and just leave it on the stage sort of thing. And I think the guest groups totally killed it and were phenomenal. So I'm definitely really pleased with how it went.
Claire Moran, Citrus TV News.
We love some a cappella, but moving on, students can claim their tickets to attend the TED Talk at SU starting Thursday. Tickets for the event are free, but there aren't very many seats. There are only 50 pre-sale tickets available at the Shine box office. This year's TEDx event will take place on April 17th in the Watson Theater. This is the second annual TEDx event on campus. And now this year's state budget is a win for education and Medicaid. Governor Cuomo announced that the state has finalized this year's budget. The entire pot adds up to $94 million. School aid will be allotted $23.5 billion, at 6% increase from 2014. Medicaid will receive close to $18 billion, a 4% increase from the previous year. Cuomo's budget sets aside a portion towards the Upstate Revitalization Project. It will also fund statewide broadband network. And coming back to local, Dinosaur Barbecue is being sued for failing to pay its tip workers fair wages. The lawsuit claimed the chain did not properly follow tipped credit procedures under federal law. Employees are supposed to make up the difference between tips and pay in order to meet the minimum wage standard. The suit also claims that Dinosaur failed to properly pay overtime wages.
FBI statistics have ranked cities in New York for violent crimes. Syracuse comes in 8th place for most crimes per 1,000 residents, but this city is safer than many others in upstate. Buffalo was ranked 2nd, Rochester 4th, and Schenectady 6th. Violent crime includes murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. Although Syracuse is still in the top 10, the city has seen a drop in violent crime over the past decade. And jury deliberations are underway for the Newlander trial. The prosecution and defense gave their closing statements. Dr. Robert Newlander is accused of murdering his wife Leslie in 2012. The jury has heard numerous testimonies during the past 2 weeks. Doctors, criminal experts, and Newlander's daughter took the stand. And outrage over the religious freedom bill in Indiana. Listen to what the state's governor has to say in his defense.
And new black box recordings from the Germanwings flight piece together what happened just before the crash. Find out what investigators think went down inside the cockpit.
There's a 60% chance it's already raining outside. Now it feels like it's down in the 30s, although it might look like the thermometer says it's 40 degrees with that cloud cover. And again, that rain coming in, it brings that temperature down a little bit from that sunny afternoon we saw yesterday. Now when are we going to see that sun and some of those warmer temperatures? I'll let you know in the full weather forecast coming up in a little bit.
I'm Jay Billis of ESPN. You're watching Citrus TV, so don't change the channel.
I think that Citrus TV is important because especially this year, Syracuse has been in the news so often, and we've often been there first to be able to cover that and really deliver it to the students.
Citrus TV News is for our campus and our students.
The great thing about Citrus is we allow students to tell their stories, and we get to listen to their concerns.
Citrus is important because we cover campus news in a way that no one else really does.
CitrusTV is the voice of Syracuse University, and it's something we're very proud of and a responsibility that we take very seriously.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
In a race, but the polls are already running. Recent polls show Jeb Bush taking the lead among 2016 Republican presidential hopefuls. 51% of those surveys said they would consider voting for Bush for the Republican nomination. This is a big lead compared to former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, who polls at 42%. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul and Florida Senator Marco Rubio fall behind at 39%. And Indiana Governor Mike Pence is on the defense as critics tear apart the state's new law. The religious freedom law allows businesses to refuse service to gay couples based on religious grounds. The governor says the law isn't pro-discrimination, rather pro-religious. Supporters of the bill believe that the state is trying to protect their rights.
In Indiana refuses to serve a gay couple at their wedding. Is that legal now in Indiana?
George, this is where this debate has gone.
Sir, yes or no?
But many disagree. Apple CEO Tim Cook is one of many who've spoken out against the law. Boycott Indiana hashtag as it is trending on social media. 3,000 people stand outside the Indiana State House in protest. And a California firefighter is in critical condition after a dramatic fall in Fresno yesterday. The man plunged through a garage roof after trying to fight the flames. Responders on the scene rushed to tear down the garage door. The firefighter is suffering third-degree burns on over 30% of his body. And it's the blackout scene around the world. Over 150 countries joined the World Wildlife Fund this weekend for Earth Hour. They fought the climate change by turning off electricity for major landmarks. The Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, and the Seattle Space Needle plunged into darkness Saturday night.
And a scare for many in Canada after the German plane crash. Upon landing at Halifax Airport, an Air Canada jet missed the runway and skidded to a stop. The harsh landing completely dented the nose of the jet. 25 people were treated for minor injuries, and the jet reportedly hit an antenna, severed a power line, and lost its landing gear before skidding to a stop. Investigators continue to search for what caused the accident. And black box recordings on the Germanwings flight 9525 help investigators piece together what happened before the crash. The recordings captured the captain screaming, "For God's sake, open the door," 13 minutes before the crash. Right now, investigators believe the one co-pilot locked the other out of the cockpit, then steered it toward the Alps. It's been 18 months of negotiations now, and the deadline to finalize nuclear talks with Iran is drawing near. They are supposed to reach a conclusion by tomorrow. 6 countries are meeting with Iranian officials in Switzerland to come to an agreement. Iran wants to loosen the sanctions, tying them to the UN Security Council. Meanwhile, other world powers want to keep nuclear bombs out of Iran's reach.
And The Daily Show has found its successor. Find out who is taking over for Jon Stewart and what you can expect from this new comedian.
And Mad Men begins its final season this week, but who will get the props on set? We'll tell you where the artifacts are going later on in this half hour.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
It's been rainy and cloudy all throughout the day today, although we will start to see that sun come back. Right now it's 41 degrees, although it feels closer to 30 with some of that cloud cover coming in, and of course the rain. The winds aren't that much, although they are about 10 miles an hour, and we will see that rain continue through the rest of the night. Compared to some of the times of the past, 87 back in 1986, we are slowly inching our way back up to what we typically are. Of 49 is our usual high. Now compared to other areas of the Northeast, that's cooler over towards Buffalo. They're getting a little bit more rain than we are now. We had a jet stream come through over the weekend, and that's why we saw such cool temperatures yesterday. And as it passes through, we'll see some warm air follow it through. Again, looking at our Doppler radar, this is that precipitation that we're going to see throughout tonight. We do have some precipitation overhead, although that will clear out by the end of the week. Taking a wider look, this is that front that's kind of bringing that rain, and this one will bring some more through the area as well. Now tonight we do have a 50% chance of rain. It will be cloudy skies and the lows down near 29, although some of those winds might bring it down a little bit cooler, from anywhere from 15 to 25 miles an hour. Now tomorrow we might see a little bit of sun. We have mostly cloudy skies, a high of around 41. Winds are going to calm down a little bit more than what they are today at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Now looking at the 5-day forecast, we will start to see some sun, and it's going to get all the way up to almost 60 degrees on Thursday. Now on Friday we're going to have some rain showers possible, and then Saturday we still might even see some snow as temperatures start to cool down again after some of those warmer temperatures come through later in the week.
A lot going on in today's health news. Advertisers are bombarding viewers with healthy beauty products, but the Food and Drug Administration just isn't buying it. The administration says many cosmetics have drug claims on the back, suggesting that they can treat or prevent diseases. The FDA says these products have not proven effective before going on the shelves. It is unlikely that they will vanish wrinkles or brighten dark circles. And it looks like oatmeal and bran flakes can do a lot more than just keep you full. A Harvard study found that individuals who ate high-fiber cereal lived longer. Fiber can lower one's risk of death from diabetes by 34% and from cancer by 15%. The researchers suggest starting your morning right by going for a cereal with 10 grams of fiber and no more than 5 grams of sugar.
And big news in the world of entertainment. Jon Stewart has given his stamp of approval on the newest host of The Daily Show. Comedy Central announced today Trevor Noah will replace Stewart after 16 years. Noah has appeared on the show 3 times. The first time was in December. Comedy Central says he is a biracial comedian from South Africa and is currently on tour in Dubai. According to his social media post, he was in shock about the news. And the final 7 episodes of series Mad Men will start to premiere this Sunday on AMC. Luckily, the show will live long after its final episode in the Smithsonian's National Enterprise exhibit. Stars of the show were in D.C. on Friday to donate costumes and props from the show. The display will include items like Don Draper's suit and fedora, his business card, and Betty Draper's yellow dress.
And some basketball in the Carrier Dome over the weekend, and SU lacrosse put perfection on the line out in Notre Dame. I'll have your full recap on the other side.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Syracuse basketball probably making its last headline of the season this afternoon. Syracuse center Rakeem Christmas was named an All-American on the third team. This comes after a senior campaign where the big fella led the Orange in points and rebounding with 17.5 points and 9 boards a game. Christmas now focus on the NBA draft. Now, while Christmas and SU basketball weren't able to participate in the NCAA tournament this March, the Carrier Dome was involved. The Cuse hosted the East Regional this weekend, and on Sunday, it was ACC's Louisville facing off against 7-seed Michigan State for the right to get to Indy and the Final Four. 2 great coaches in this contest, Tom Izzo and Rick Pitino. Pitino's been to 7 Final Fours. Izzo looking to get to his 7th. He's already been to 6. Put that in perspective for you. Jim Boeheim, 40 years of coaching. He's only been to 4. And this one was a tight one. You see Valentine get the kiss off the glass. Michigan State up 1. This one would go to overtime, though. And this is it. Travis Trice, corner 3, no good. But, oh, the putback. And that would be the difference. The Spartans, the 7-seeded Michigan State team, headed to Indy. What a putback for Tom Izzo's squad, and they're happy about it, getting their coach to his 7th Final Four. This is what the head man had to say after the game.
In that locker room, we got to huddle up, say where we're going, and there was symbolism to that statement, and it was pretty cool the way the guys felt about it. Pretty cool.
Well, Sparty on. Michigan State rolls on to the Final Four. And how about this? The Carrier Dome, out of the 4 regionals being host this weekend, the tournament had the largest crowd right here in Syracuse, 24,000 plus. Very impressive. But to put it in perspective, still less than an average Syracuse basketball game, but 24,000 something the city can be proud of. So Michigan State moves on to the Final Four. They will play Duke. The Blue Devils took care of Gonzaga to get to Coach K's 12th career Final Four. And then on the other side of the bracket, 2 number 1 seeds face off. Kentucky, of course, undefeated. You know that narrative, trying to get to 40-0 against a very impressive Wisconsin team led by Frank Kaminsky. Excited about both those games on Saturday, and this is only the 5th time 3-1 seeds are in the Final Four. All right, enough basketball. Orange Nation has its eyes on lacrosse. SU entered the weekend undefeated, #1 in the country, and looked to defend the perfect record on the road in South Bend against second-ranked Notre Dame. A tough battle for Coach Desko's squad. Let's check out the highlights out at Arletta Stadium. Coach Corrigan for Notre Dame trying to get his team fired up. Notre Dame, well, they had a 9-3 lead early, but Dylan Donahue, behind 7 goals, erases it. Syracuse, the Orange, actually held a 12-11 lead under a minute. PJ Finley, a scoop and score from the faceoff next. We're tied at 12. Donahue, a chance to win it in overtime. Shane Doss says no. Another opportunity for the Orange in overtime, knocking on that Irish door. Notre Dame now with an opportunity, and that would be it. Jake Neer, the difference, 12-11 Irish, and that means Syracuse is perfect no more. They dropped to #2 in the rankings this afternoon, but still, I mean, a lot you can be happy with Coach Desko's team. Double overtime can go either way, and this team's still very good and will contend for a national title, surely.
I mean, it's nice that, that you have a positive outlook on it. So do we, but the team not so much. So what did the Irish have that the Orange didn't?
Well, they came out with a little more juice. Syracuse got backed into a 6-goal hole, which was down 9-3 in the third quarter. They used a lot of energy to battle back, force overtime, and then Notre Dame just cranked it up another gear in the second overtime.
And now back to March Madness. It's always on my mind. What are we looking at for the Final Four coming up?
Well, I mean, Michigan State's the team that really shouldn't be here. You got 3 #1 seeds, and then boom, Michigan State comes out of nowhere. Can they ride Tom Izzo's wave and get him another national title? That's certainly a narrative I'm looking at. And then can Kentucky, go undefeated, do the impossible? Those are the 2 things I'd keep an eye on.
So we have a couple Cinderella stories going on.
Well, we got one for sure in Michigan State.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Jay.
Absolutely.
We'll be back right after this.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
All right, Caroline Strange is back with us in studio. Caroline, what should we expect when we wake up tomorrow morning?
Well, tomorrow it's going to be pretty chilly when you first wake up, down in the 30s, but that temperature is going to climb throughout the day, and the chance of rain is going to drop off almost completely by noon.
All right, thanks so much for joining us, Caroline. And that's all from us back in studio. Be sure to check us out on social media for the latest updates. Once again, I'm Rachel Wolsky.
And I'm Alex Resnick. Citrus TV News will be back tomorrow at 6 with SA Today. Good night, Syracuse.